G'day everyone, hope you're well. Alrighty, so I've finished off two propeller driven kits. It's time to go to a jet and I'm going to do the Italeri 132nd F-104 AC. As I mentioned in my bench update, I would be doing this kit. I can't zoom in on this because it's very wide book and I didn't start off normally with the box because it doesn't fit. But we shall bring the parts over shortly and have a look. So we've got all these sprues, you get a bit of photo etch in your clear parts. Paint callouts are in Italeri paints, but they do have federal standard numbers as well, so that makes it easier to track down and the brand of paint you use. Also, I should mention that this kit was first tooled in 2013, and since then it's been boxed 6 times, and this particular boxing I have is from 2020 apparently, so they haven't brought out one since 2020. They've done the 2-seaters as well in amongst those 6. Alright, so starting off with your ejection seat, you got some photo etch for the harnesses. Now, because I'm doing mine in flight, there's some of this in the build will be altered, but we'll get to those parts at the end after we look at the kit. So for now, we're just looking at building this kit from their instructions. So it's nice big images, nice and easy to see. Seat, and then into the cockpit tub. You got, I don't remember now if they had decals or not, we'll find out shortly. Doesn't appear to be. Again, nice big large instructions, so it's easy to see what's going on and what goes where. Highlighting there of the rack for the ejection seat sits on, they plug into the bottom of the tub, and then you'll be onto your landing gear. So you got the gear bay, the legs go in and the piece comes in over the top of them into the bay. Then you got intakes that pass or to the rear of it, and you got some bulkheads either end there, and then you're on to the engine. So this kit again is you can have it split, so you can have it put it together, but you got 4 sections of the fuselage, or you can have the tail end off to display the engine. So you got the engine going together onto the fuselage halves. You cut, looks like you're cutting a panel out there. Oh, hang on. Oh, sorry, my bad. You're drilling a hole. That highlighted section's a paint colour. Yeah, see why I'm cutting it out. Alright, and then it's going together. Where do I see it? I missed that bit. That must be just one piece. Your batteries and everything, electronics behind the pilot going in there. And then all previously constructed sections are going in. Photo etch goes at the end. This is if you're doing the cracked open. Alright, we got 2 versions or alternates here. Okay, so this is if you're going to have the engine in the aircraft. This one's if you're having the engine out, displaying it separately. there may be, I'm not sure, we'll get there eventually, a dolly. Yes, there is. So I built the Mirage years ago, and you can display the engine on a dolly, so this is the same. Alright, nose gear bay. Again, nice big large images. Simple enough. Goes in to a bottom fuselage section, which then plugs into the fuselage. So there's a few things along the way to which scheme you're doing. So you got here for versions A, E and F. Version F, version F. Alright, the instrument panel combing on the HUD. This is for behind the pilot. Covers the cover for the electronics bay. Photo etch here, bending some photo etch. Nice big diagram showing what to do. Nice enlarged picture, so you're not squinting and trying to work out what the hell they're doing. And again, options. You can have it open, showing the electronics bay, or closed. Obviously, mine will be closed. Intakes going on. So you got the inner piece and the outer skin of the intake. Nose cone going on. Again, we got different versions of which part goes on the side there. Gun bay covers going on. Onto wings. So you got 4 pieces per wing by the looks of it. The main wing, the flap and the leading edge. Control surface and the slat. You need to drill out the holes if you're putting the pylons on. Speed brakes, so you can have them open and closed. Opposite wing. And you're on to your tail section. Again, it's got photo etch on the face if you're having it displayed open. 2 halves, you've got some small parts going in there. Your rudder. So there's a piece to go on the main part of the rudder before it goes on to the tail. And you got the horizontal stabilizer. There's a nice large image here showing how when it pushes in, it clips through it's got like a loop on top of there. And again, they're showing you the option of how to display it. So engine out when it's cracked open, or the engine's in which case if you wanted to you can display it tail on, tail off, etc. This is your engine dolly. Oh, sorry, the tail dolly, engine dolly, if the tail sit on. So it does make a nice display if you're doing it all opened up. There's the engine dolly. And then you got the wheels. So the wheels going together, 2 halves, and then you got the actuators as well going in at this stage. Gear doors. And okay, so you can have it, the doors open right up, or doors when it's parked, I'm not sure, they might shut the front doors. They're sort of cracked a little bit open, whether it's they're drooping from the being parked and no power, they're starting to open up. I'm not sure if that's what that's about. Again, all this is relevant for how I'm doing it. A little stabilizer on the belly, the rest hook, and the nozzle. And then you got your drop tanks, sidewinders, and bombs. So if you got AIM 9Bs, sidewinders, M117 bombs, and your tanks, and image of how to display it with said ordnance. So you got different configurations. So you can have the wingtip tanks or the sidewinders on that one with the main drop tanks on the wings, sidewinders on the underside, under the belly, with bombs, and the wingtip tanks. It's quite interesting. I don't think I've ever seen one built up like that. And here is your configuration, all versions, in-flight refueling, probe only on version F, centerline rack only for version F, configuration C, all versions, sidewinders under the belly, wingtip tanks or just the sidewinders, wingtip tanks and bombs, and that one we've seen earlier with everything. And then we're coming back to the the cockpit. Is a bit weird. Anyway, so you got the canopy frame, mirrors going in, which are photo etch, and displaying open or closed, boarding ladder, and the in-flight refueling probe, which they mentioned is only for version F. Piece under the chin there. Now if that's a sensor, is for optional, and it's for version F. Alright, and then you got, we got here the pylons, decal call-outs for them, and the bomb, and the sidewinder, stencil data, more stencil data, tank stencil data. Alright, now we got our versions all mentioned throughout the instructions. Alright, version A, F-104A, SN 560821, aircraft number, 331st Fighter Interceptor Squadron, Webb Air Force Base, Texas, 1964. So all the schemes, I think, will probably be, the paint schemes will be the same, different markings. Alright, version B, aircraft number is 560840. This is the 538th Fighter Interceptor Squadron, Larson Air Force Base, Washington State, 1958. It shows how old the aircraft is. They're not 58. Alright, so that they were still on A, F-104A, aircraft number 560857. This is the 56th Fighter Interceptor Squadron, Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, Ohio, 1958. And another A, 560880, 337th Fighter Interceptor Squadron, Westover Air Force Base, 1958. And version E, F-104A, 560791 of the 83rd Fighter Interceptor Squadron, Taiwan Air Base, Taiwan, September 1958, and version F. So they're all A's. The last one's the C, which hence is an upgrade, I guess, because it's a later model with the in-flight refueling and all our other bits and pieces. So it's aircraft number 560919, 435th Tactical Fighter Squadron, Da Nang Air Base, South Vietnam, 1965. And straight up, it tells me I want to do the Vietnam one. Alright, let's look at the parts. This is what you get in your boxing. You get two huge decal sheets. Just put that there, and sit there, please. I'm in a bit now, maybe not too much because the screws are big as well. As usual, I'll take photos. Look, let's face it, it's Italeri. They use cartograph, so the decals will be Mickey Mouse, beautiful. This is all your stencil data, all your ordnance data, and we got the stars and bars and the USAF. That's for your anti-glare panel, but that would be painted normally, or looks better painted, I should say. So all our aircraft numbers and unit markings. Honestly, it doesn't really matter which one you choose because it's the same paint scheme. It's whatever markings takes your fancy, or if there's a particular, if you're attached to a unit historically or something like that. So they all look lovely. Alright, let me find the smaller stuff. So there's your photo etch. How much glare am I getting on that? A bit. So that's for the fuselage if you have it open. So you're looking at actual detail of the join. You got little angle attack sensors by the looks of it. And your harness mirrors, that'll be for the gun, I'm guessing. So that's all, not a lot, but better than nothing, as in photo etch out of the box. Alright, so it's a bit of dust. Alright, so it's nice and clear, he says, but there's a bit of a scratch on that window, but otherwise nice and clear. Alright, I'm just going to grab what's on top. No loose bits. Right, so the obviously your engine, plenty of raised detail on it, but of course the problem becomes when you glue it together, you have to clean up the seam join and try not to obliterate all that raised detail, which is near impossible. There's just a few ejection pins and ports there. Looks like the boarding ladder on here as well, and parts for one of the dollies at the wheels for the dolly, and parts of the intake which have some ejection pin marks in them, as does your engine, but you'll probably get away with that one. Them, I'm not sure, you'll have to look, do a dry fit and see if you can see them or not. Alrighty, so there's a battery or electronics bay. Seat pieces, some pylons on here. Yeah, a little bit of flash on some pieces. That's got flash going on it. But you got the that's the piece under the nose. This the cover for the behind the cockpit for the electronics bay. There is some little, you can see 4 ejection pin marks in there, a couple on that one. That probably you should clean up if you haven't opened. Airfix packed their kits in a bag that could fit 50 kits in it. This thing you can't even get to the end and cut it open. This should be two of sprue. So yeah, the drop tanks almost 18 centimeters long. Sidewinders, I mean, they look okay, but I'm not an official on sidewinders. They got nice detail on them, and they don't have any ejection pin marks. Wheels, if I was doing it wheels down, I'd buy resin wheels. That would be the first thing I would buy. It's something that is very easily seen, and resin wheels have nicer details and kit wheels, and you don't have to do a join seam clean up. Plus there's no tread on them. Bombs, and looks like parts for seat on there as well. So that should be, so it's 2 of the same. Alright, this is, yeah, I might have to zoom back out, will I? Right, so wings, the rear end, another drop tank, the main gears suffering from some flash that need a clean up. So all recessed detail, looks good. Same as the tail, all looks good. There's your in-flight refueling pitot for the last scheme, the C version. Alright, Alright. And back this way. So your gear bay, it's got all that raised detail, but it looks a bit, I don't know, it's better than nothing, I'll say that. So all looks alright. Your cockpit tub, you got raised details. Alright, where was the instrument panel? I didn't see it. There it is on there. So you got all that raised detail, but I don't think there was a decal for that, so you need to paint in details if you're using the kit piece, which is a shame in that scale. I'd be going aftermarket for that case, because unless you can buy some decal sheets, is it Airscale or someone like that do that sort of thing, bezels and stuff. Don't know if they do modern jets. So alright, so gear doors have got ejection pin marks, unfortunately. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think that's meant to be there, that one. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you get 4 on each one. Little bit awkward to clean up some of them, but I suppose if it's displayed you don't see them, but I don't know, in this scale you sort of want to try and get rid of that sort of thing. But anyway, alright, so that's the kit. As mentioned, I'm doing it in flight, so obviously I need one of them. So I got the Aerobonus pilot. I'll zoom in a bit here. Ew. Alright, so obviously if you have never done resin pilot, if they're seated, a lot of them come, it's part of the seat, so you need to paint accordingly. But okay, this is old style resin. These days everything's 3D printed, but this is cast resin, so it's poured. So nice detail with the flight suit and everything, all the crinkles and stuff in the flight suit. And an aftermarket pilot always going to be better than the kit one, even though the kit doesn't come with one. Alright, also got to alleviate the problem of no instrument panel decal. We got the this is, which brand is this? Red Fox. So there's your instructions, so they're showing you where everything goes. I've got that zoomed in too far now. Yeah, so there's gear in there for the electronics bay, which obviously I won't be using, but I'll be using the cockpit area. I'll take photo of it, but it's again, you can't paint like that. No one can. So I'm not, especially in 1/32 scale. Even if you're having it just parked on the ground, that's a great upgrade. as you can see, into a 30-second scale cockpit very easily. And I got this because the engine nozzle, it should be a lot better detail than the kit one, because I just took that on a hope when I bought it, because I bought it all before I looked at the kit. So it's Italeri Brassen. Because I mean, having it displayed, you'll have the acrylic rod coming out of it, so that's going to be a point of visual interest, people looking at it, and the nozzle will be right there. So it's nice detail. Where was the... So the detail is on that kit part, but it's softer. This is more sharper edged, and this doesn't have all that to clean up. But to be fair, the kit one would suffice. It's not like way different or anything. I just need to be careful of that, because when I'm doing the acrylic rod mat, because it'll break easy, being thin resin, because that one will be 3D printed. Alright, there you go. So that's my next project. Stay tuned for the first part. It probably won't be until next week. Back to work for a few days now, so I won't be doing anything at all. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this one. It's I have to get a acrylic rod yet, but it's a while off being completed, so I'll measure the dimensions of the nozzle, try and get a rod that's close to the, or not the same as that diameter. Alright, I'm going to do some photos now. Thanks for watching.